Hi, beauties. First of all, it's summer. Yes, yes. Time to make summer bucket list and music playlist. Well, enjoy the sun and just be a little bit happier. Okay, so what we've got today? It's not Cass or Dean or Sam, but still falls into supernatural universe, maybe. So this boy obviously isn't ordinary. He is kind of spiritual creature that hanging around the forest lake. His location is a small lake or pond in the forest deeps with clear blue water to refresh and take a swim. A total paradise for occasional travelers. I didn't want him to look evil as he represents the nature, and nature is uncertain and uncertain and you can be both, and it can be both good and welcoming or a total disaster. But in the supernatural universe, he is totally the creature who is hunted by hunters. So yeah, that's where we are with him. But he is the original character of mine, if you're curious. Today I actually wanted to talk to you about three things: gradients, brushes, and who you see yourself as an artist. So let's start. Gradients. There were a couple of art tutorials that I watched that brought me to this whole idea of gradients. But yeah, I have a lot of art where the colors look out of place or just like messy. I mean, they're just in random spots and overall it looks messy. And solution that I found is gradients. Hear me on that. So whenever I start a new picture, I look in the reference or at the live, in live, on live, what I see in front of me, for main few colors. Maybe like 4 or 5, sometimes 3 or 2. And not just what colors are those, but where one color ends and next starts. For it to be easier for you, you can unfocus your eyes and then you'll be able to see those color spots. Like, okay, imagine you are looking at a tree, right? You want to draw and paint every single leaf with all of the amazing colors on this leaf. But if you'll do that, it will look probably like chaos. That's why, first of all, you draw the overall shape, like one toned green ball, maybe. And then you can paint top 1/3 yellow and bottom 1/3 blue, which gives you like the sunlight from the top and the shadow at the bottom. And once you'll have this nice gradient from yellow to green to blue, you can start adding more drops of colors here and there, details, start painting leaves, and overall it will look nicer and more balanced together. So on this art piece I have 2 gradients, one on the background and second on the character. On the boy it will be from the left the light yellow, then going to skin orange, and 2 violet blue shadow. On the background, it's overall starting from the top, dark brown green, which goes into light orange, then yellow, and then to blue. You'll see it better if you will look on the picture with unfocused eyes. And yeah, so the next thing is about brushes. I bought new flat and soft brushes and I enjoy flats a bit more than pointy and round ones, but if you'll see on the screen, some of them are broken because they had really long handle and they didn't have the same brushes with the short handle, so I just adjust them. But yeah, okay, also this time I was specifically searching for the softer brushes with the softer bristles, because with them I got those thin washes without disturbing layer underneath, almost like those that Jaw Cooper pulls off and always talks about, almost. But I set my mind that brushes do matter for me, because Now, when I have two flats that are similar in size, but I see that they give me totally different effects. So I don't know, brushes do matter for me. So yeah. Okay, and about who do you see yourself as an artist? So when I started seriously getting into art last year, I was super scared of who I will be. I certainly didn't want to draw only portrait or caricatures on the main street of my city. So at least I knew who I didn't want to be, but the possibilities are endless. Do I want to draw plants for the rest of my life and be like botanical artist? Can I draw only dresses and clothes? Or do I need to like and play games to be, like a concept artist? And finally, do I want to limit myself in art to do something specific when I love to draw every single thing? And how am I supposed to be good at something and get a job if I'm so confused? It took me a year to figure out the basics of who am I in art. And I'm still not sealed on this decision, but that's a path. So, tip number one that helped me: think about who you are as a person. For example, I like discussions, healthy conflict, being opposite something. So the reason why I like drawing boys so much is probably because everyone right now is kind of drawing girls. So I'm kind of rebel here. And I also like feared and confused expressions on them because I want my characters to look like there is something going on in their head, like the wheels are turning behind those eyes, like there's discussion in their head. So, um, are you someone to laugh with? Who you are as a personality? What are the main qualities of your personality? Talk about what do you talk about? Do you talk about philosophy or space? Are you somebody to do crazy stuff with? Who are you? Who are you really? So yeah, tip number two. What is art for you? What do you draw? No, not what do you draw. Why do you draw? I started to draw because of the Supernatural TV show. It made me feel things differently and gave me an escape world with different things and possibilities happening that I would never feel if not because of it. So art for me is a way to be, to feel, to experience something totally, completely new that maybe cannot happen in real life. That's why I want to draw characters and the situations that are not probably that realistic. So, do you draw to relieve bad emotions maybe? Do you art to bring new ideas? Or do you make positive out of nothing? What it is for you? Why do you draw? And tip number 3, look at your past. What are the most memorable moments, like the one that brings you sweet nostalgia? For me, it's going places surrounded by nature. More than like 8 years I spent in summer camps, or sorts of them. I remember this one summer camp surrounded by thick pine forest that me and my sister were like 5 years in a row. And also we used to go on the lake shore with my parents and of course to the sea. This is the reason why I will probably always try to bring nature in my pieces, like forest, lake, sea, nature type of nature. And that's why I like to draw plein airs that much. And maybe you grew up near desert, or maybe it's just your lovely neighborhood in high school. There's always something to pull off from that. So, what holds the sweetest place in your memories? And tip number 4 is a little bit more specific. What do you dislike? Look at the artist's work and think which art pieces or details you don't like in what they do and how they do it. what would you want to do differently? I'll give my examples, but obviously they are not to offend somebody's art or artist, but to figure out mine. For instance, right now I don't like that some of the works of Jack Cooper looks more like watercolor when they are in gouache. And realizing that I know now right now that I want my gouache to have thicker layers and not have those blended and smooth transitions. Or for example, I don't like Fran Meneses floaty limbs. I want my characters to have more bones and be more realistic. And I need to mention that those are one of my favorite artists here. I like their style, but I just don't want to draw like that. So I think when you see element that you like and incorporate this into your drawing, it's fine and essential, but that also means that you're doing like somebody else already does. While knowing what you don't like doesn't give you actually an option how to do it, but rather pushes you to figure out new unique way. So I hope it will help you in some way. If you have your tips to share or something to add, I'll wait for you in the comments. Carry on and stay productive. Bye.